Hey, what's going on? This is Leo. If you found the content valuable, please subscribe. So let's take a look here at the crypto markets, kind of see what's going on. We're coming up on it's essentially the biggest event in the crypto market space since the creation of Bitcoin, and that's the upcoming merge that everybody's talking about. The final test merge is going to be taking place between August 6th and the 12th. So that's coming up quick. And then they're looking to do the final merge, I believe it's September 19th. So it's coming up quick. And the reason it's a big deal is because it's going to result in a 90% drop in the issuance of new Ethereum in combination with what's already gone into the network is EIP 1559. They're expected that it becomes the world's first truly deflationary asset. So it's a big deal. It's something that the whole space has waited for a very long time. There's been a lot of delays, but we've never been closer to it. And the reason it's a big deal is because it says, okay, we can scale. We can grow the network. This thing it's sustainable. We can meet the market demand. And the other thing that gets people excited on the investment side of it is the triple halving, which refers back to the 90% drop in new issuance. So if we're looking here at Bitcoin, you can see how, so the green lines on the chart represent the halving dates, which is it's programmed to happen about every 4 years. So you can see what happens after the first halving, price skyrocketed. And all the halving is that every block that's mined, there's a certain amount of Bitcoin that are rewarded and distributed out to the miners as payment for mining the transactions. Every 4 years, that gets cut in half. So it starts at 50, then it goes to 25, 12 and a half, et cetera, et cetera. So the Ethereum triple halving is the equivalent of having 3 Bitcoin halvings all at once. And you could see how that drove price. So you can see here with the first halving, Bitcoin price had skyrocketed, right? Because there's that lack of there's not as many Bitcoin being distributed, but the demand for it is ever increasing. And so we see that again here with the halving in 2016, price skyrocketed. And then we just saw that again where that was 2020, we had the halving, price skyrocketed. So now if we move over to the Ethereum to Bitcoin trading pair, meaning trading Ethereum against Bitcoin. Now I think we just established looking at this chart that Bitcoin typically, he's Big Daddy, right? He comes in and he moves the market. Whenever he decides that the bear market's over, the rest of the other coins such as Ethereum, Chainlink, etc., they follow. So I think that's about to change. So with the triple halving coming in, we have this technical analysis chart here that is essentially showing that Ethereum is going to be gaining relative to Bitcoin. So for example, right now, the price of Ethereum is 0.071 Bitcoin. So we have a golden cross here on the weekly time frame. Now, Bitcoin, so this is the 200 EMA. A golden cross, all that means is that the 200 EMA is crossed the 55 EMA, which is the yellow EMA, and it's just an incredibly bullish sign. If you look at Bitcoin, it's been golden crossed its entire life. So the Ethereum to Bitcoin trading pair has just recently golden crossed in 2021, and we have this level of resistance here, and we are pushing higher and higher, bouncing off this lower channel. And I think once this breaks, what we're going to see is we're going to see a massive gain in Ethereum to Bitcoin. So we have, from an Elliott wave perspective, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have the algorithm here that I talk about that essentially moves the markets. So you can see they came down to the 50, they started buying. So their target is at the negative 236, which is up here at 0.44. So basically half a Bitcoin. We have 5 waves up for an impulsive wave. Then we have an ABC, some sort of correction. I haven't counted it specifically, but what we do is we measure, right? So we measure our first wave. We project that from the second wave. We know our most likely target based on Elliott wave rules is the 1618 for a third wave. So that would put us between 0.25 and 0.44 for a third wave target on the Ethereum to Bitcoin trading pair. So what is that going to look like in the real world? Well, as we're coming into the Ethereum triple halving, what I think is going to happen is we're going to see a decoupling of Ethereum to Bitcoin. What I think is going to happen is that Bitcoin will stay more so stationary. I think that it will trade within this range of, say, 25,000 to maybe even 40,000. And I think that Ethereum will begin to rip. So I think that in the coming year, let's say, after the halving, we'll end up seeing a $5,000 to $8,000 Ethereum. And I think that's where we're going to see it gain massively against the Ethereum to Bitcoin trading pair. So what we're going to see is the price, or the pair for Ethereum to Bitcoin, come way up. We're going to see the price of Ethereum to US dollars come way up. And I think that Bitcoin will consolidate, because Bitcoin doesn't typically start to rip until it has its halving, which isn't until 2024. So coming back over to Ethereum, what I think is going to happen is we rip up, okay? We pull away from Big Daddy Bitcoin, and then we take a break, right? So we have our breather here. And then once the Bitcoin, because remember that once Bitcoin starts to tear, the rest of the market follows. We have all these other altcoins, Ethereum, etc., start to move with that new bull market. So I think this next phase is going to have two parts to it. I think we're going to have the bull run whenever the merge happens, which brings us close to $10,000. And then I think we're going to have a little bit of a break, right? A little bit of a breather. And then Bitcoin has its halving, which forces the market up even higher. So moving into 2025, I think that the bull market for the next bull market for Bitcoin is going to top out around August, September of 2025, which would put an Ethereum price target between, on the really low end, 26,000, just call it 25,000. On the very high end, 100,000. I think we'll probably be somewhere in the middle, probably around 50, 60,000 for Ethereum. That is the trade of a lifetime. If you manage to get in there around $1,500 for Ethereum, $1,600, and you're talking about within the next few years that asset being worth $50,000. Why wouldn't you take that trade? What's the downside here? This is the leader in the smart contract space. Smart contracts allow you to do all sorts of things with, preventing fraud, more efficiency in the markets. It's a new and emerging technology, right? This is a new layer on top of the internet. If you could put a market cap on the actual internet, I believe it was Cisco Systems valued the internet itself as around $20 trillion market cap. So if you have Ethereum, which is essentially a decentralized computing system that the future of the internet will be running on, what's its market cap going to be? If the internet itself is valued at roughly $20 trillion, what is the computer that's going to be powering it going to be worth? So anyway, I'll leave y'all to it. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.